friends. Welcome to the Ancient Health Podcast, where East meets West. I'm your host, Dr. Chris Motley, and we're going to talk about the quantum realm and about you and attracting that which you are tuned into. Do you believe that you attract what you think about all the time? There are many discussions, and I am not an expert in quantum physics. I don't claim to be an expert in the laws of attraction. I know that many people out there, when they listen to this, don't even believe in the laws of attraction, or they are very wary about that when it comes to energy fields. And if the energy field discussion with quantum leads us down to so many different paths, because there's some individuals who love talking about energetic fields and laws of attraction, and there's some individuals who could see it as almost being a little too esoteric. Maybe in the terminology, maybe it's too new age for them. I like to talk about quantum fields because I like to come at it from an angle of the Chinese medicine world, of which I know some things about. But for all the individuals out there that know more about the energetic fields and about Chinese medicine and biofields, please send me information. I don't want you guys to think that what I say is the set in stone when it comes to energetic frequencies. When we do talk about quantum realm, there are some discussions and even arguments about what the term quantum realm means. And one thing's for certain, though, is that everything has energy properties. Energetic properties. There are basically vibrational patterns. Think about this. There are vibrational patterns that are given off and emitted by your cells. There are vibrational patterns that are emitted from your body when you have certain emotions taking place or certain thoughts. These are all vibrational patterns. If you could imagine that if your grandmother or your parents or yourself knitted or crocheted or bought a patterned blanket, and it's beautiful because there's symmetry in the pattern. That's the same thing that I want you to think about when your body, your cells, if they're vibrating at a certain level, they will emit certain vibrational patterns. Just imagine it like dropping the pebble into the pond or into the lake, and you see the ripples coming out from that little pebble. Those are vibrational patterns. And why it's very, very important is that it creates these vibrational patterns are emitted from the body, and they create an energetic blueprint. Just like a blueprint, when you look at a building, there is a structure to it, and there is a structure to your vibrational pattern. Think about it as these little waves from the pebbles in the pond, how they start to spread out through the whole lake or the whole pond, those little ripples. Those ripples are emitted from your body, creating a field, like a force field. Some of the fields can go very far, so many feet. Some of the fields have been known to be very close to the body. But one thing's for certain, energetic patterns and blueprints that are emitted off the skin, off the body, is recognized by the NIH. You can measure it. There's a certain thing called Kirlian photos, Kirlian photos, Kirlian. Many people of you have heard that. And there are certain thermography and bioscans, body bioscans, that can measure the wavelengths, the actual light that's coming off the body. There are certain devices that can measure the harmonic, the sound frequencies that are coming off the body. And this is important because when we think about any type of health system, any type of dis-ease, it is a disturbance in your frequencies. There is a disturbance or distress in your biofield, in your frequency output. So when you have your biofield basically emitting certain types of light, certain types of sound, all this emitting frequency, the biofield, is giving you information. It is a huge information source, the biofield. You have to think about your bodies being like a tuning fork. And when you're a tuning fork, whatever vibrational patterns you are emitting is the type of tone, like a tuning fork, that you're giving off. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, so whatever your vibration patterns are, you're giving it off like a tuning fork. It's like somebody struck the tuning fork and you hear that pitch or that note, the C note, for instance. And when you have this frequency, there are things that you can look into now. As we go through this podcast, there are certain tools you can look into to help with your vibrational patterns. Whether it's bioresonant devices, PEMF machines, PEMF, pulse electromagnetic, Rife machines, tuning fork therapies, lasers, sound therapy. When you have these types of modalities that can change the vibrational patterns coming off the body, it can actually heal that vibrational biofield, because your biofield is giving us information, and the length or the distance that biofield comes off the body that can be measured can determine how long a problem's been there. The further away the field is from the body normally means that a problem can have been there longer. The closer usually means that the problem had just occurred. So there are certain aspects of biofield therapy that I can get into, but I don't want us to get confusing. What I do want us to know is this. The vibrational patterns can be healed, just like helping your body get tuned in. And there are really good practices of intentionality and consciousness awareness, using consciousness awareness, thoughts, meditations, intentions, and prayers to actually influence your biology. You can use prayer, you can use your intentionality to change the vibrational patterns that are being emitted from your body, which in turn will change your biofield. Why I'm talking about a biofield is some people also come to the conclusion about the biofield being low vibration patterns. Some experts say that if you have very, very small biofield, like it's not emitting very far, that your body could be very weak. If you have a biofield that's very, very expounded, you could have more strength. You could have more chi in the body, more resonance. You could actually be a little stronger if your field is far from the body. And if it's very close, you could be seen as having a weaker field. Can you still have problems in your body if you have a very expanded field? Yes, completely. But the practitioners that can go in and measure, quantify, and describe the fields, the vibrational patterns are being emitted from the body off the skin, are the practitioners who are so aware that they help their clients, their patients, with really cleaning up the biofield. They can feel it. They know something's going on there. And that's where the individuals who just literally have an intuition, that's what makes certain practitioners, certain doctors so good. They may not even get into the realm of biofield, but they can feel the vibrational patterns and they can interpret it internally. And I don't want to get too esoteric, but it's okay. If you guys out there can walk into a room and feel where another person is upset or angry, you have the ability to tune in, which means your vibrational patterns that are emitted from your body can select the vibrational patterns that are coming off somebody else and tune into it to the same wavelength, the length of the wave, the same height. That's what makes an empathic person empathic. They can actually use the field that's coming off their body and match the frequency that's coming off somebody else. Some people individually are innate and can do it without thinking, which is where some people can read me like a book, or they can read people like a book. They're reading this person like a book. Why? Because they know in their biofield, with their vibrational patterns being emitted, that they can take that patterns and there's something in their body that can actually resonate with, match. That's what makes counselors and therapists so good. That's what makes massage therapists so good. That's what makes Chinese medicine practitioners so good. It's doctors and lawyers and people who can just read and feel the patterns off people. Now, when we're talking about this pattern that's given off the body, if you have any type of distress, sickness in the body and it's being emitted off the body, the longer that problem has been in the body shapes your biofield. And I hope I'm not getting overboard, but it shapes the shape of it. It makes it a different shape. So you can look at somebody through these different instruments and you can see an individual that may have a very large biofield around their head and their shoulders. But when you get down to their waist, to their hips, they could have a very small field, like a force field. It's actually shrunk around their hips. Why? It could be that person has a problem within their urinary tract system around the pelvis or the reproductive system. There's low energy there. And you start to see that when this occurs, the biofield shape changes. And when it changes in you, let's say you have an individual issue with like UTIs, for instance, and that field shrinks because there's low energy around the pelvis, but you have a certain vibrational pattern being emitted from your bladder, from your kidneys, that represents certain bacteria. You guys follow me? E. coli has a vibrational pattern within your bladder. Your bladder vibration changes because the E. coli is in there causing a whole disruption, and your bladder is giving off a vibrational pattern. This literally frequency, it's coming off your bladder, and it's going through your skin, and it's emitting from your body, and it's changing the shape of your biofield around that area. So you then could attract other individuals that have bladder or UTI issues because possibly the wavelength and the amplitude of the wave coming off your urinary tract system could resonate with somebody else who also has a UTI or a urinary tract issue. Does that make sense? You can attract because waves that basically have the same shape, wavelength, the width of the wave, if they have the same shape of the wave, if they can overlap perfectly, like the waves of the ocean, if they overlap perfectly, you will increase the height of the wave. You amplify the wave. So if you have an issue with a UTI, you're going to attract people that could have the same issue. That's why practitioners, doctors, lawyers, healthcare practitioners say, I always attract individuals that have had some of the same issues that I've had. How is it that I've had Lyme disease and then everybody that had Lyme disease started to come to me as a patient? Because your body's emitting a frequency, and that person is so, I don't like to use the word desperate, they're just so hurting for help that their body is trying to amplify that signal like a beacon. They're trying to say, okay, my bladder has UTI, has E. coli and Lyme disease, and it's like a signal going out, and it's trying to send a radio message, and somehow it finds your body with the same wavelengths around the UTI and bladder and the kidneys, and you match. And then the wave gets amplified. Somehow, two people meet. Somehow through social media. Somehow through in person. Why is that? Because your body's like a tuning fork. Their body's like a tuning fork. And when you have two tuning forks that have the same note, like a C note, you can hit one, ping one, and it'll send a C note over to the second tuning fork, if you can imagine, and it causes that tuning fork, the second one, to vibrate at the same frequency. And then the frequencies start to go back and forth between the two tuning forks. So they start to create a standing wave of information. They are communicating. That's what happens when you communicate with somebody else without saying a word. It's not saying it's simple. It's just that's how electrical patterns operate. Now, when we talk about us tuning into somebody else, and now they're sharing information with you, and you can almost feel what's going on with them. So you'll say, oh, I know that this person has issues with relationships. I can feel this about them. And you go, why in the world would I know that? How is it that I will walk into a room and out of every single person, a person that out of the whole room, one person is hurting because they went through childhood trauma similar to me, and they always found me out of the whole room. Like I went to a party and this one person found me. It doesn't mean that you're out there trying to emit the frequency. It's just that the tissue, the body still has some form of resonant frequency in your body that's emitting that signal, which tells me that we all need to do this. If you are attracting that, it means that you need to heal more of that condition within your body. So it's not that you neglected yourself and didn't try to find it. It means that there's some resonating frequency, some vibrational patterns in your body that still may be emitting or has a memory of that original trauma or problem. And you got to find it out, and you just got to work at it and keep cleaning it out. Biofields change, frequencies giving off from the body. And then we talk about the quantum. Now, the quantum is when individuals talk about this ether, but I always try to refer to it to make it easy. Has anybody here heard of the iCloud or the cloud? The cloud, in essence, is a huge database, a huge hard drive that we go on our Apple or whatever, or Samsung, and you go into that and you save your information as a backup into an external hard drive or into the cloud. Now, when we think about the cloud, if you had an external hard drive hooked to a computer, it's only in your hard drive. But if you go to the cloud, you're going onto servers that are holding information from how many millions or billions of people. That's what you have to think about. A quantum realm is where there is tons of information hidden within an external hard drive, but it's in the ether. Now, this is my understanding of it. So if you have the iCloud and you download something from your computer into from the iCloud into your computer, and it downloads instantly, how is that happening? I'm asking. It is literally taking your computer is using a Wi-Fi signal or an Ethernet to resonate or find the exact frequency matches to your information in the cloud. That's just a way to butcher it down and try to simplify it. Like a telephone call. So you have all this information in the iCloud, all your information from 20 years, and you can pull out any information. Now, in quantum realm, some individuals say that the quantum is a collective higher consciousness. Now, this can get very, esoteric, but I'm not an expert. I'm just saying this is like some of the thoughts behind it. Maybe there's tons more. But you have this whole cloud of information because all the energetic output, all the frequency and vibrational patterns that every single individual in our world has is emitting this frequency off their body. And there's billions of biofield out there with all these individuals. Now, as that information and the experiences and the beliefs of every individual is emitted off their body, the frequencies are going out. And some people say it's in the biofield, but some people say it's infinitesimal. It keeps going out from your body, depending on how severe the trauma, how severe the belief, how severe the programming. That frequency is going out into our environment. Makes sense? It's just coming off our body. Now, they say that those experiences, those programs are within the ether. Like, not say empty space, but there's no empty space. They say it's actually a cloud. And so you have all this information from all these individuals not getting trapped, but filling up the ether. And if you, like on your iCloud, if you took your computer and found your file, or if somebody like your friend said, oh, Joe sent me a file through the cloud, and they gave you the link, and you got the right signal and resonated with the cloud on the right frequency base, and you pulled it into your computer, you were taking Joe's information and was able to download it on your computer. Same concept. They believe that if you are tuned in to think of nothing but higher vibrational patterns of joy and happiness, and also to resonate with your grief to help it heal, you will download information from the cloud or from the quantum. You'll download information that you resonate with, that what you're putting out. So if you do only put out only angry thoughts, you may download or you may resonate with the quantum realm and this whole collective iCloud consciousness, where you're going to download energy that's angry or frequency that's angry, or you may pull it because you're resonating, it's coming off of you. So that's why some practitioners say it's very important that we learn how to tune in and tune into the quantum realm. Some people say, I don't like to think about that because that just sounds a little too woo-woo. What I'm saying is our thoughts as human beings they're emitted, and we all think that they just stay with us and they're trapped in our bodies. Like, no, it comes off the body. Like, there are waves and there's frequencies, and you know as well as I do that you can not even go into a room. You could be in your house and you could have a best friend living in Alaska, and you will say, man, I wonder what Henry's doing, and or I wonder what Caleb's doing, and certain that you're going to get an email or a text or something from them and saying, hey, you just popped up in my head. Why is that? Because you tuned into the ether. That's what they will say, the quantum realm. And when you tuned in, you're resonating for Caleb and they are resonating for you, and your frequencies matched. In an instant, you got a download from them and they got a download from you, from the iCloud or from the cloud. That's a way to think about it. Now, that's why it's important, though, that when you're living your life, whatever occupation, I don't want to get into any religious aspects of it. I'm not getting into religious aspect. I'm just talking about frequency output. I'm saying that you have to be mindful about what you think, what you believe, what are your practices every day, because what you do is you are emitting a vibrational pattern, and you will basically resonate with that same vibrational pattern in the quantum. That's why I like Leela Quantum, is because they set frequencies about joy and happiness and cleaning the body and cleaning the blood system and the immune system. Because if you truly try not to be fake, to live in joy, like, no, I know the situation is bad, but I'm going to keep on pressing forward, and I'm going to try to do my best to recognize the things that are joyful and happy in my life, but also recognize my griefs and my sadness and my aches and my pains. But letting your body say, it's okay for me to process these things, you'll resonate that energy of healing. I recognize that I have pain and hurt, but I also need to recognize that I have to have the joy and happiness along with my trials. And you'll start to emit that, and you'll start to tune into that frequency within the quantum. That's what they would tell you. That's what happens. You'll start having better friends that understand how you are, how you feel. You'll start to attract more information, they say, or you'll recognize it more because you're tuned in. That will help your health issues. Like tuning forks finding each other. I saw a really great example when I was watching a talk with Dr. Joe Dispenza. I had a really, really cool time. I got to just shake his hand and say hello. But he put a metronome, and he put like dozens of metronomes, like 30 of them, and he had them all being initiated at different click rates. Click, 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 click. Be different patterns. And eventually they all synchronized, all of them. They all started to match frequencies. And that's what occurs is if you basically try to help yourself see your pains, see your anguish, but also see your joys and your happiness, and you start to have visions of what you really desire, but also about you're not living in your past, but you're actually practicing the things you want to occur in life by physically doing it and physically acting on it. You're going to tune in to other individuals and other processes and information that would actually be basically drawn to you. And that's shown in the metronome. Like, it literally is not, to me, woo-woo. It's literally how sound waves and how light waves, how they interact and how they've shown to work, I would say. So individuals say you can create your own destiny, you can create your own vision, your own future. I try to always tell myself this, like, you can emit a frequency, and if you do it daily enough and practice that physically and emotionally and mentally, by thinking of intentionality, you can resonate with the quantum, or you would start to attract individuals that have same like-mindedness. So iron sharpens iron. So when you start to take some of the, I don't even like to use woo-woo, when you start to think, oh, that's just a little bit out there. No, it really is tuning forks, sound therapy, and how it works. So when you start to really believe that and know that's how we attract things, it makes it more real to you. So we need to make sure that we do our best to help heal the biofield, heal the fields that are coming off our bodies, to give us the ability to attract the right information and to emit the right information. And as you attract the right things and you start to emit, you'll process better, and your body's healing will actually get stronger and thrive. Here's some things I want you to remember. Here are the takeaways. Frequencies through biofield therapy or vibrational patterns are going to be the wave of the future about helping us diagnose and even treat certain ailments. Guarantee it. It's already happening. You watch and mark my words. With this, your intentionality, your emotions, and your thoughts are some of the biggest points of your healing. If anything, if you can change the way your body thinks or perceives a certain condition or trauma, if you think in a new way over and over again, you'll start to create a spark of a new vibrational pattern that's emitted from the body, and you'll start to tune into that new way of thinking in the quantum. So don't neglect your emotions and your thoughts. Don't think that they don't matter. They definitely do. So be very mindful how you think about certain situations. The next thing is, when you tune in, I want you to start to connect to your energetic self. Now, energetic self would mean this. We know how our physical body feels. Oh, I have, like some individuals say, well, I need to work on my biceps or I need to work on my abs. That's a physical thing you want to work on. But have you heard the importance of breath work and prayer and meditation and sound therapy and light therapy like red light and far and near infrared light? Why? It's because you're not trying to just find the deficiency within your physical body. You're trying to find the deficiency within your biofield, which goes much deeper than the physical representation. That's why I like tuning fork therapy. I have some friends that do tuning fork therapy, and they just love the science and the nerdiness of it, to where they look at it and they go, oh my goodness, the area around their shoulders is associated with this organ, is also associated with this emotion, associated with this acupuncture meridian, all from your shoulder. And you're like, oh, I injured that when I was in 4th grade. But there's so many deeper implications to that shoulder being injured than just I hit it on a door frame or something. Information is locked in. When you tune in, that means that you're tuning into your energetic. You're trying to do prayers and thoughts or breath work and going through and trying to categorically go through areas where you feel not an emptiness, where you feel that there is not enough energetic value or strength in a certain area. And when you start to tune in, that's why I talk about talking to your organs. As weird and corny as it may sound, you can have a conversation with your heart, you can have a conversation with your lungs, and you know what will happen? Neurologically, you will start to communicate more with that organ, and that organ will tell you information. My organs, my lungs are super tired. I've had patients tell me that. They were the person that would never think about like talking to organs, and they come in and they go, Doc, I don't know what happened. My lungs got super tired, especially after I did such and such. Like I talked to my boss and my lungs got super tired. And you're how in the world do you know that? That's the communication. You have to tune into your energetic self. Look into the body electric. I mean, there's one book, Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. The body keeps a score. The emotion code. These are all great avenues to look into field therapy around the body. We're not just tissue. We're not ligaments and sinews, but all the fascia and all the connective tissue is carrying so much electrical and vibrational patterns. And we have to be very, very aware of that, because we're in a world of EMFs. We're in a world of like glyphosates. EMFs and glyphosates, they do what? They destroy your fascial system, and your fascial system is there to carry your electrical signals. We're in this struggle. So when you're tuning in, remember, good intentionalities, prayer, meditation, breath work, finding the arenas of life that you want to expand on, finding the trauma that you need to work on and bring into your life and recognize. And when you start to healthily have a yin-yang balance of my pains and my joys, you'll start to emit that, and you will pull in the individuals or the thoughts or the practices or the information you need to keep excelling. If you guys like this information, let me know. I know it's a lot about quantum healing, but when we talk about tuning forks or PEMF, you are changing your biofield. I love tuning fork therapy. I have friends that do it on me, and I'm telling you, it's some of the most profound feelings and healing. I do an infrared sauna every single night, full spectrum. I do a form of Rife machine. I do laser therapy almost every single day, and sound therapy through different types of holosync. I usually have my watch here. You can watch. It's a Wave Watch. We're going to have the owners on here. Wave Watch is a frequency generator on my wrist going through my cardiovascular system. And I totally tell the difference. My mom has brain stuff, and I'm telling you, she has better cognition when she's wearing the watch. Pay attention to your energetic flow. Make sure the individuals around you that you don't mean to, that you're attracted to, and you don't feel like they would be the best for your energetic field, is because you're still mending and healing something, and they pick up on it and they're going to amplify that signal. So if you think in your heart, like, I used to have anger issues, I don't want people around me that are angry because it just would irritate me, you're still working on your anger. But if you notice that people are coming around you that are angry, you'll have to put boundaries up and cut that off, because they're going to keep resonating with you as you're working on yours. So you don't want to hang out with too many people that have anger issues when you're trying to heal your anger. That's what I would say, unless they're trying to work on theirs too. Okay. That's just an example. This was a lot to take in. I know that if you guys like this kind of therapy or this kind of talk about the therapy, about you attract certain things in your life because of the way it's coming off of your body and your system. If you like this, or you know somebody who needs more information like this, forward this over to them. Like and subscribe. Send me some comments if you'd like me to talk more about frequency and vibrational patterns. And guys, I'm just glad I get to talk about this. I love talking about quantum. I like talking about tuning forks and vibrational patterns. I'm not saying I'm the expert at it, but I do this a lot in my office. So we in the membership, we'll jump in and we're going to talk about this. So usually every Wednesday night on my membership, I have a live Q&A, and we talk with all the members, and I say, bring your questions about this podcast. So we take the podcast we had the week before, like on a Friday, and then we talk about in the Q&A the next week. So there's a link for the membership if you guys are interested. But remember, guys, just be intentional, feel your body, know your energetic body. Don't neglect it. Okay? From all of us here at the Ancient Health Podcast, I hope you guys have a great day and a blessed day. Until the next time, talk soon. Bye-bye.